today, if you have them handy, you're going to want a strap or a belt or something of the sort. And you will probably want blocks or books or anything that you can use as blocks or books. So just hop up and find them if you have to, and then set them aside for now. And we're going to start today in any seated position. So how you sit is up to you. You can sit cross-legged, you can find diamond legs, or you can sit on your knees. I'm sitting on a blanket, so that is an option for you as well. If you're sitting cross-legged, just sort of check and see where your knees are, because we want them either at the same level or lower than our hips. So if that means you need to prop up a bit on a blanket or a pillow or something, just allow that for yourself so that your knees can rest down. It's hard to relax when your legs are really tense and the knees are hanging up in the air. So once you've found yourself comfortable, just allow yourself to sort of settle in here. Give yourself a few moments. You can have your eyes open or your eyes closed, whatever's more comfortable. If you decide to have your eyes open, just make them nice and sleepy, sort of looking down towards the mat. And start slowing your breath. See if you can relax your face. Unclenching your jaw. Finding a little bit of space between your top teeth and your bottom teeth. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. Imagining your entire torso as a cup. And as you inhale, imagine that cup slowly filling. Water, sand, jelly beans, whatever you want to fill it with. All the way till the top. It's about to brim over. And then as you exhale, imagine it emptying again. Slower the better. And trying to empty your lungs, empty that cup completely, every last bit. And keep going with that. Filling your cup on your inhale all the way to the top. And emptying your cup on your exhale. Squeezing out every last bit of air. Just keep breathing with that visualization at your own breathing pace. after your next exhale, let go of the image, but hold on to that slow breath as you start to blink open your eyes. If you're sitting cross-legged, let's go ahead and switch which leg is in front. So bring that awkward leg to the front. And then slowly start twisting your torso towards the right, keeping your spine nice and long, and just finding a really gentle early twist here. Don't overdo it at all. Keep it really soft. Let your shoulders relax down. Keep looking over that right shoulder. Now stay here for your next inhale. And as you exhale, hold on to that twist, but slowly turn the head to look out over the left shoulder. And then as you inhale, just turn the head to look back over the right again. And exhaling, hold the twist, just turn the head. Being really slow with this neck movement, with the breath. Don't whip the head around. Give yourself 2 more of these at your own breathing pace. After your next exhale, release your twist. And then start to twist to the other side. Really slow, really gentle. We don't need to wrench our body all the way here. It's our first twist. Relax those shoulders. Relax the knees. Stay here for your next inhale. And on your exhale, hold the twist. Just slowly turn the head to look out over that front shoulder. And use your whole inhale to turn the head back again. And then exhale, look out over the front. Really slow, deliberate movement with the neck. Give yourself 2 more at your own breathing pace. After your next exhale, release your twist all together. And if you're sitting on something, let's set it aside and start making our way to all fours. So setting yourself up here with your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And on your next inhale here, find cow pose, dropping the belly down, hips back, face pulls forward. And as you exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, hollow out the stomach as you find angry cat. And Inhale back to cow pose. The slower the better here. And exhale to your angry cat. Now keep going with this at your own breathing pace. Really using your whole breath to get there. There's no rush here. And sometimes I find that a yummy little gift to give yourself here is just to add in any sort of movement that feels good. So maybe the hips want to go from side to side, maybe the head wants to roll, whatever feels good here. Just sort of give that to yourself. Use this chance to sort of check in with your body, seeing what feels good, what your body needs today. I often find myself in a really wonky sort of shape here that feels really good, and I just want to hang out there for a second. That's fine. If you find that stretch that you're just like, oh, that's good, then feel free to stay there for a couple of breaths. I really like to find that long stretch down the side body here. Couple more breaths, moving however you like, or just continuing on with your cat-cow. Now, after your next exhale, just find a neutral spine again. We're going to work this right foot to the front of the mat, however you want to get it there between the hands. Finding a low lunge here. Now this back knee can pull back as far as you'd like for it to. Mine likes to pull back a little bit further from all fours. And you want that front ankle more or less under that front knee. Now this is where blocks or books can come in really handy. Just to give yourself a little bit of extra height here, unless you have really long arms. Now we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, just sort of holding on to this lunge. Think about widening your collarbone. If you find yourself hunching into this, pull the chest forward some, pull your shoulder blades closer to each other in the back. Just breathe into this. Now, on your next inhale, you're going to pull your chest forward even more. Pull towards the front of the mat. And then as you exhale, start pulling the hips back, finding that front knee straighter, even if it doesn't straighten all the way, into a half split shape. And then on your inhale, pull it forward again to low lunge. Really slow movement here. And then exhale back. Keep going with this for a few breaths at your own pace. The method to the madness here is just to warm up this muscle a little bit before we hold a hamstring stretch. We're just giving it a little bit of love and attention first. Couple more breaths here. The next time your hips are back, just go ahead and hold it there. Adjusting if you need to, you can pull these blocks back with you if you'd like. Holding this half split shape. Now think about your hips here, pulling them back towards the wall behind you, as though someone has a hold of them and they're pulling back. At the same time, pull your chest forward. I can't hear you guys cursing me right now. Pull your shoulder blades a little bit closer to each other in the back. Just breathe here. It's a really long stretch on that hamstring. Now see how it feels to flex that foot, to pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. Being careful not to overstretch here. Now change that foot, point the toes, really reach forward with those toes. Find that stretch on top of the foot. And then flex it again. Give yourself a couple of those. Pointing and flexing, feeling how that changes the stretch. Now deciding which one you hate the least, pointing or flexing. Which one is less awful? And hold on to that. Just keep breathing. Whichever one your body likes better today. And then start bending into that front knee again, coming back to a low lunge. Now, if this back knee is getting a little bit grumpy, then you can pull a blanket under it or even roll the side of your mat over in half to give that knee a little bit more padding. Now, from here, take one of your blocks or books or whatever you have, and we're going to sort of wedge it under this back leg. Think of it like a doorstop, sort of wedging it in there. And what this is going to do is serve as our physical reminder as we bring our hands up to our thighs. What often tends to happen when we rise up is that the hips come with us. So this is going to be our reminder to keep that thigh there, to hold on to that contact a bit. Interlacing the fingers on top of the thigh. Maybe even pressing into that thigh a little bit. If you want to lift the chest just a little bit, feel free. But with every exhale, let that back thigh really relax towards that block. Couple more breaths here. Let that block have maybe even a little bit more weight. Slowly release the hands back down and come on back to all fours. Now, this is a good time to go ahead and give yourself a padding under the knees if you've decided you could use it. I ran this morning and my knees are saying, yeah, maybe that's not such a bad idea. Now we're just going to switch sides. So bring the left foot to the front. Take your time getting it there, no rush. And again, the blocks underneath the hands can be a really great tool here, just to find a little bit of height so we're not laying on that leg. Maybe that back knee wants to pull back a little bit more. It's wherever you're comfortable here. Everybody looks a little bit different in low lunge, and that's okay. It's your practice. And just like before, just take a few breaths here. Let your body sort of feel what's going on this side. It might feel a little bit better right off the bat because we've already worked on that left hip. If you find yourself hunching here, really think about pulling the shoulder blades closer to each other in the back. Lots of length in the spine. On your next inhale, you're really going to pull the chest further forward towards the front of the mat. And as you exhale, pulling them back, straightening that front knee, even if it doesn't straighten all the way, that's okay. And then inhale forward to low lunge again. And exhale back towards this half split. Now keep going with this at your own breathing pace. Just warming up the back of this leg before we ask it to hold that half split. Next time your hips are back in half split, go ahead and stay there. And just if you need to, maybe pulling the blocks back a little bit further. And pulling the hips back towards the wall behind you. And at the same time, pull your chest forward towards the front of the mat. Widen your collarbone, pull your shoulder blades closer to each other in the back. And see how it feels to flex that front foot. Pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. That really sort of is the icing on the cake, or maybe the straw that broke the camel's back. It really intensifies it. And then see how it feels to point those toes. Really extending forward with the toes. Find that stretch on the top of the foot. And then flex again. Go back and forth a couple of times between pointing and flexing. Just noticing how that changes things. Now decide which one you hate the least on this side. And stick with that one. About 30 seconds here, we're going to hold either pointed or flexed. That nice slow breath we found at the beginning, filling the cup. Bending into that front knee again, coming back to a low lunge. And just like the other side, we're going to give ourselves this doorstop under this back leg. Sort of wedge it under there so that when we rise up, bringing our hands to our thigh, that back thigh maintains contact there. You'll feel your body wanting to fight its way out of the stretch a little bit, and maybe you need to a little bit. That's okay. Maybe pressing into the thigh some, lifting the chest a little bit. It's completely up to you how deep you take that. With every exhale, maybe giving that weight or book or whatever is under this back thigh just a little bit more of your weight. Opening up in that hip just a little bit more. On your next exhale, sinking even further down on to that block. And then releasing back to all fours. Let's let the hips here just sort of fall from side to side. Finding that nice stretch on the side of the hip when you come to the side. And coming back to the center. I have one dog locked in the bedroom scratching and the other one's really unhappy about it. Now we're going to find that right foot pulled forward again. Back to low lunge. Last time, I promise. Now this time, you're fine. This time we're going to keep both hands inside that right foot. Want to be up on a block here, feel free. Just take a moment here to settle back into this ankle under knee. And now we're going to drop that right knee out towards the side. So come onto the pinky toe side of that foot. And give yourself just a little bit of movement here. Just some gentle wiggles. Kind of searching for those sore, sticky spots in your hip. They're in there. Now we're going to come to whatever level feels good here. So that may be staying right where you are on your palms or your fists. Maybe coming up a level onto the block. Maybe coming down onto the block on your forearms. Maybe even coming all the way to the ground. What you want to avoid is the hunch in your back. If you've come so low that you're hunching in your back to get there, come up a level. You still want to pull long here. Just breathe. Send nice thoughts to that hip. We hold a lot in our hips. Maybe even with a small smile on your face. And then coming back up. Bringing that foot flat. And switching sides. Left to the front. Finding that low lunge again, but this time with both hands inside that left foot. And whenever you're ready here, you can drop that left knee out to the left. Come to the pinky toe side of that foot and just sort of wiggle. All those nice sore spots in your hip. Breathe into it. See if you can talk some of that tension out of there. Breathe some of that tension out. Now come down to whatever level feels right for you. Same choices as before. As long as you can still keep pulling the spine nice and long. Breathe into it. Relax into it. Few more breaths here. Coming all the way back up again. Coming back to all fours. The lunges are over. Now let's open our left arm out to the side and keep opening it. Opening the chest, maybe rolling that wrist out a couple of times. And threading that arm underneath and behind the right, all the way through, setting the shoulder down. Maybe lifting up, reaching just a bit further. And you can stay right here with this right arm just sort of gently supporting you. Or maybe walking those fingers forward, straightening that arm. That opens the chest a bit more. See what feels better today. Sometimes it feels best to reach up with that arm. Just make sure if you do, that you're rolling that shoulder back and down, away from your face. Just feel free to play a little bit here. See what's going to feel best for you today. Find the stretch that works best on that shoulder, the twist that works best on your spine. And then slowly pressing up with that right hand. Back to all fours. And then we're going to open that right arm out to the side. All the way. You're rolling that wrist around some. And then threading that arm underneath and behind the left. All the way through. Maybe lifting up, reaching just a little bit further again. And same options with that left arm. See what feels best for you here. more breaths here. Pressing up with the left hand. And slowly come all the way down onto your stomach. Staying up on your elbows. Sphinx pose. Your elbows here right under your shoulders. You can decide what feels better for you. Palms flat or making fists. Whichever one helps your shoulders open more. And from here, think about making your legs longer. Just zip them back. Reaching back with all 10 toes, especially the big toe side. Pull your belly button up and in like you're trying to pull it off of the mat. Oh, here he goes. And pull your chest forward and up. Like a seal on the beach, pulling itself forward along the sand. Just hold here, breathe, really lengthening that upper spine. See if you can bring your shoulders wider, finding this openness in the front of the body. Now hold on to all of this engagement, but bring your left hand over towards the right elbow. This is going to be our supporting arm. That left arm is down flat. Bend the right foot. Can't even see past this big old brute. And grab onto that foot with your right hand. Pulling this foot just slightly outside the body. So think more hip than low back. Keep everything else engaged. If you start to lose that engagement, if you start to relax that left leg, relax your core, that's when you're going to start finding a little bit of pinching in your low back. We want to protect the low back. Try not to slouch into this left arm. Don't get too comfy there. Keep pressing up there. Stay strong. Now, if you have enough space here, you can turn your fingers from pointing backwards to pointing forwards. It just adds a bit of a shoulder stretch. And sometimes a foot cramp. Beware. And then just switch sides. We're going to release that foot, bring the right arm down, and bend the left leg, reaching back with the left hand. And again, think about pulling just slightly outside the body. Stay nice and strong in this right arm. The quad is just a big old grumpy muscle that will fight you all day long. Just breathe into it. And if you have the space, you can turn your fingers facing forward. Be really mindful of any tugging on the knee here. Don't take any stretches too far. Anytime your knee starts to warn you during anything in yoga, just pull back. Knees don't like to be trifled with. And then release. And from here, just flip over onto your back. Bring your strap or belt or what have you close by. Bring both knees into the chest. Let your spine relax for a couple of breaths here. Maybe rock from side to side. Setting both feet down. Now bring in here your heels in close to your hips and your hands to your thighs. Now we're going to pull our hands down our thighs all the way down until your wrist is resting on your hip bone here. Now relax your low back. And at the bottom of your next exhale, you're going to press forward with your hands on your thighs. And you should find a really nice traction stretch on your low back. If it doesn't work, then just release and try again. Sometimes it takes me a couple of tries to find it. It works for me if I start pressing at the bottom of an exhale. But once you find that, it's a really nice stretch there. It's like hanging on a yoga hammock or laying on an inversion table. But just give yourself a couple of breaths here. After your next exhale, just release that pressure on your thighs. And keeping your left foot down, just go ahead and get the strap around your right foot, extending that leg up. And then gently pulling that right leg towards the right shoulder. So again, just slightly outside the body here. Think more shoulder than chest. And give yourself enough room in your strap so that your leg is mostly straight without locking and your shoulders can relax. Now this left leg can stay bent like it is, or you can bring it down flat. Either way is correct. If you bring it flat, then flex that left foot. Pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. If it's flat, keep it nice and active. Just breathe, maybe even closing the eyes. Really long holds on these. These are my favorite stretches. This series we're going to do. Every exhale, maybe relaxing just a little bit more into it. Show off. Now holding on to both sides of the strap with the right hand. You're going to keep the left hip down, that's important. As you slowly let this right leg come out to the right. Your right hip will tell you when to stop. And it's more important here to keep this left hip down and keep those hips neutral than to bring this right leg low. This is a big stretch. Feel free to prop this right foot up on something. Pillows, the wall, your dog. But if what you're needing is more stretch here, then you can pull that foot up higher towards the top right corner of your mat. That should intensify it if that's what you're needing. If that left leg is flat, make sure that foot is still flexed, nice and strong. Couple more breaths here. I know it seems like forever. Slowly, carefully bringing that leg back to the center. Holding on to both sides of the strap, or just your foot if your arms are long enough, with the left hand. And we're going to draw that leg across the body to the left. Roll on over onto that left hip. That bottom leg can relax now. And then look to the right. Let that right arm extend out to the side. Same thing on this side. Feel free to prop this leg up on something. This is a big stretch. But if you need more, pull that foot up higher. Higher towards that top left corner of the mat. And with every exhale, let your shoulder blades fall nice and heavy towards your mat. Let your face relax. Let that bottom leg relax. Couple more really slow breaths here. Slowly, carefully, come back to the center. And then pull both knees into the chest. Maybe rock side to side. Noticing how crooked you feel right now. We're going to fix it. So bringing this time your right foot down flat. Wrap the strap around the left foot and bringing it up. And gently pulling that left leg towards the left shoulder. This right leg can stay bent, or you can bring it down flat. Both ways are correct. If it's flat, flex that foot. You can think of your breath here as energy. With every inhale, you're sending energy to the back of that left leg. And as you exhale, release that energy out. Allow those muscles to relax and melt a little bit more. Couple more breaths. Holding on to both sides of the strap in the left hand, keeping the right hip down. Let that left leg drop out to the left. Remembering if this right leg is down flat, to keep that leg strong. We don't want it all loose and floppy there. Keep that leg active. Keep that foot flexed. Again, feeling free to prop this foot up or pull the foot towards the top left corner if you need more stretch. Most of us don't need that. Every now and then. Keep your face relaxed. Couple more slow breaths here. This one's trying to tell me that Johnny's trapped in my room, and I know he's trapped. I trapped him in there. I know it. Carefully come back up to the center and then switch sides. Hold on with the right hand, draw that leg across to the right, roll onto the right hip. This time looking to the left. Just let that bottom leg relax now. Shoulder blades fall heavy towards the mat. Really relax them. couple of more breaths here. Slower the better. Slowly, carefully, coming back to the center. Bring both knees into the chest, rock side to side. Now if there's any pose or shape or stretch you need to find before you can relax in Savasana, feel free to find that now. Otherwise, whenever you're ready, start making your way to your Savasana. Using whatever props you like, whatever you have on hand. The nice thing about practicing at home is all of the pillows laying around. Grab as many as you like. Take a moment here, doing a bit of a mental scan. See if there's anything you can do to make yourself even more comfortable. Any small adjustment you can make. Letting your eyes close down. Letting your feet relax heavy, flopping out to the sides. Tucking your shoulder blades back into their little pockets. Feeling your feet fall heavy towards your mat. Feeling the mat melt beneath your feet. Relaxing your calves. Muscles around your shin bones. Softening your kneecaps and the backs of your knees. Feel your thigh bones melt down over your hamstrings as you release your hips towards the earth. Breathe into your lower back, your middle back, your upper back. Feel your shoulders melt down towards your elbows, your wrists, your hands, fingers. throat melt like warm wax. Feel your eyes grow heavy in their sockets. Feel the weight of your brain as the back of your skull softens. Relax the areas behind your ears and at the corners of your mouth. And bring your awareness to the center of your forehead, right between your eyebrows, as you open to stillness.